Hi guys, I'm back with another video. So I was looking through my YouTube notifications and saw this comment. Somebody asked for me to do the difference between Air National Guard and Army National Guard and thought that that is a really good question, because if I would have known that there was such thing as the Air National Guard, I would have definitely joined it. I'm lying, because I couldn't have joined the Air Force because of my ASVAB score. You guys know that I had a really low ASVAB score. There is a lot of difference between the Air National Guard and Army National Guard. You guys already know. Like, let's start with the ASVAB though. So the Army National Guard, they'll take like the lowest, I think like 31. Of course, you're like 31 ASVAB score. Of course, your job is limited, but you can at least, like get in and pick whatever job is available for you. Versus in the Air Force, you can't even begin to like start your process until you make, like, I don't know exactly what it is, but I think it's in the 40s or it's in the 50s that you have to make on your ASVAB. And a lot of people just like take the ASVAB and not even study for it and make a good score, and that's good. That's good for you guys. You have really good like technical knowledge, like a lot of technical knowledge, and like your basic knowledge is really well, or you just take good tests, or you're just a good guesser. But yeah, so that's the difference between the ASVAB. So then let's talk about MEPS. MEPS is the same for everybody. You get to pick your job. I believe in the Air Force is when, you know what, I don't know. I know in the Army you get to pick your job at MEPS, but I don't know about the Air Force, because you guys know that I went through the Air Force. Oh, if you didn't know, I went to the Army. I was in the Army National Guard for 3 years. Then I transferred in the Air National Guard, and I've been in the Air National Guard for 3 years now. So yeah, basic training, the Air Force is 8 weeks, Army is 10 weeks. I'm looking down because like I wrote some stuff down so I don't go like out of topic. So basic training, PT is completely different. Like the Air Force PT is a minute push up, a minute sit up, and a 1.5 mile run. The Army PT is 2 minutes push ups, 2 minutes sit ups, and 2 miles run. And the Army is changing their PT, so keep that in mind. Okay, so your base, like where you're stationed at or where you drill at. So they both drill 2 days out of the month, both the Army and the Air Force National Guard. The Air Force National Guard, we do our drills in a base, so like where there is an Air Force base. The Army does their drills in a unit, like an armory. So an armory, typically, like you guys as a unit will drill separately from, like other jobs or whatever. But in the Air National Guard, we drill as a base. So when it's like the weekend of drill, everybody is on base. So like you've got the special forces, you have intels, you have medics, pilots, maintenance, supply, personnel, admin, stuff like that. Everyone is on base. Where in the Army, you drill as a unit. So if you're in an MP unit, you've got all the MPs, your supply, your admin, your medic, yeah, and so on and so forth. So an armory is small for the compared to the Air Force, because the Air Force is freaking base. The Army armory is small. It's just like a large space for you guys to do your training. Yeah, so another thing is like, okay, so if you're in the National Guard, you do 2 weeks out of the year, usually in the summer, to do like training and stuff like that, to train your job and such. So the Air Force provides a lot of different I guess, different locations for you to do your 2 weeks. Like 2 weeks, like for instance, for 2 weeks, our unit just went to Alaska. So if you want to go on that trip to do your 2 weeks, you could definitely sign up and do it with them. And like you can do your 2 weeks on base in the Air Force base, and just do your 2 weeks at the base. Like you don't have to go anywhere. Or like, let's say if they're going, like I'm in a special forces unit in the Air Force right now, and they're going to Africa, and I could have went to that trip, but I didn't because I'm going to school and I can't take off 2 weeks right now. So if the time permits, you can definitely sign up and do your 2 weeks, and you have options. Actually, yeah, I mean, it really depends on your job, because I'm admin, so I can pretty much do admin work anywhere. So yeah, well, my job is called personnel. Admin is a different thing, but I heard that they're combining them in the Air Force now. Also, when you do your 2 weeks, the Air Force will always, 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 always have a hotel. Well, let me say this. Yeah, we'll always have a hotel. Like, you will never ever pick up a cot. We don't even know what a cot is in the Air Force. The only reason why I know what a cot is because I was in the Army. But in the Army, you do your 2 weeks as a unit, and it's usually in the field somewhere, or I don't know, like somewhere not fun, definitely. Also, you get per diem when you do your 2 weeks in the Air Force. Per diem is it could be your food allowances. So in the Air Force, like for instance, when I went and did my 2 weeks on base, so I didn't have to go anywhere, they gave me like $60 a day to spend on food. You get to see that money. You get to go to Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, to Applebee's, wherever you want to go to, and spend your $60 however you want. In the Army, you will never see that money. You are gonna go to they're either gonna give you MREs, or you're gonna go to the chow hall. Now the Air Force does have a chow hall. It depends. It really depends on you if you want to go or not. You can go off base to eat any time you want, pretty much. I mean, well, of course, like when it's lunchtime, but you can't just go in the middle of your job. But they're pretty lenient. Like if you're hungry and you want to get like a quick bite, like just go to the BX or the PX or the commissary to get you some food, go ahead and go. Like the Air Force is not strict on that. In the Army, you're stuck in the armory until it's lunchtime and whenever they release you. But this is different. Like this is different with each unit. So maybe you're in the strict unit, you're not gonna have a lot of privilege. If you're in a more laid-back unit, I guess you get more privilege in the Army. Also, like this is probably the most important thing, is deployment. So deployments in the Air Force is every 4 years, I believe, and it's only for 6 months. And the deployments are super, super, super like short, super, super, I don't want to say easy, but like definitely not as hard as the Army. So the Army deploys for a year. You are literally gone for a whole year, and you get like crappy places. I don't want to cuss, but you get really, really like crappy places. The Air Force, we have really nice deployments, depending your job again, but yeah, and our hours are not crazy. Like the Army, you probably work 24/7. The Air Force, you have some downtime and you have more like free time versus the Army. Oh, this too. If you like to shoot guns, the Army is the best branch for you, because every year you have to qualify, which means you go to the field and shoot your M9 or your rifle or your pistol. It's the same thing, but your M16 or your M4, which is your rifle, and then your M9, which is your pistol, depending on, like, if you're in the MP unit, you get to shoot a pistol, but if you're just in like regular units, you shoot an M16 or an M4. But yeah, you guys have to qualify once a year, and you guys shoot a lot in the Army. Like, you go to the field a lot, pretty much like every other drill you're in the field with a cot, eating MREs. For the Air Force, I have never, ever, the 3 years that I've been in the Army, I mean in the Air Force, I have never even touched a rifle. Like, I've never even seen a rifle. I've never even like heard the sound of a like weapon, a gun, and I have never been to the field. The whole 3 years I've been in the Air Force. So let me just tell you guys that, like, that alone convinced me to join the Air Force. Now, if you do like to shoot, I mean, it's not bad. The Army, like, field training is really not that bad, but I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like, it's really good training for you. And if you like doing that stuff, that's good, like, good for you guys. But I'm not gonna say I'm a girly girl, but I really, like, don't want to be in the field all the time. Like, that's not what I want to do, especially when I'm admin. But yeah, it's really like up to your preference. Another thing, let's see. Oh, in the Air Force, you can wear earrings and you can have nail polish. So of course they're not gonna let you have like bright red or like a blue or like a black or like a white color, but you can do like light pink, like anything that I guess complements your uniform. In the Army, you can't wear earrings. This is for girls, like, obviously for girls. You can't wear earrings and no nail polish. Now, I tried to do, I think you can have like French fingertips, but I tried to come in to drill with French fingertips one day, and I believe I was told that I wasn't supposed to. So really, like, depends on your supervisor. But yeah, that kind of sucks. I mean, nobody really cares about you wearing earrings or you wearing nail polish when you go to drill. Like, that shouldn't be anything that you like need to, like, oh my gosh, I have drill this weekend, I need to get my nails done. Like, that's not something that you think about. But if you do like getting your nails done regularly, like in the civilian world, and then like, you know, you have drill this weekend, and when you're in the Army, like, you gotta think about when drill is, like, I can't get my nails done at this, like, today, like this week, because I know I have a drill. And you know, like, just little things like that you have to think about. So yeah, so like, whenever I know drill is coming up, I get like, and I want to get my nails done, I get like a light pink, or like just like a regular, like a light pink, and like sometimes I can do like a light brown or like a light green color, something really basic for my nails. And you are allowed to do that. They're not strict about that in the Air Force, so keep that in mind. Oh, okay, so the Army, like, once you go to your unit, they will what's the word that I'm trying, it's been a while since I've been a supply in the Army, so I'm trying to think of the word. They will issue, that's the word. God. Okay, they will issue you combat gears. Okay, so in the Army, they will issue you combat gears. So that's your like ACH, your flick, this is what we call them, your, let's see, your rucksack, assault backpack, like all like every little stuff that you can think of that you need for like combat mode. They issue that, and you have to keep up with that until you either retire or you get out of the unit, or you get kicked out. You have to keep up with that, and like, you know, the whole time you're in the Air Force, we have the same thing. They issue you guys this like combat stuff, combat gears, but it's not as much as the Army, and you will never ever pretty much like use them unless you have like an exercise in the Air Force. You may use like some of it, but you'll literally like use it for like 30 minutes and then take it off. But in the Army, when you go to the field, you have to bring, like, keep in mind that you have to bring almost everything that they issue you, which is like a lot. So yeah, but let's see, that's pretty much it. That's all I've got. That's all I've taken notes for. So if you guys have any question, like anything specific, please feel free to comment down below. And yeah, I feel like I pretty much covered everything. And if I haven't convinced you yet, join the Air Force. Like, for real, guys, the Air Force treats you so much better. Nothing against the Army, but like, especially for girls, like if you really like not into going to the field all the time, or like, I don't know, like if you just want to join the military because all of the like benefits that they give you, you're not gonna like the Air Force, because you do a lot of like stuff that doesn't make sense half the time. So yeah, but like, I know a lot of guys enjoy the Army, so yeah, it's really up to you. But keep in mind that there is a big difference between the two, and make sure you choose wisely. And if you're in the Army right now and you are wanting to transfer, it's very much so possible. Just talk to a recruiter and he will tell you the exact steps. And I have videos about my transfer as well if you want to watch it. But that's pretty much all I have to say. Thank you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe and follow me on Instagram. Like I said, if you have any further questions, feel free to comment them down below. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.